was a good one, huh?
That was fancy.
Yeah.
Fancy, man.
Fancy. All right, we are live with Mike Sullivan, who is currently in the prevention detail. Michael, thanks for being on, man.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And I have to say, I mean, your record's pretty good, especially for August. What were you saying the other day? 3 fires and
5 fires last week, and none of them human caused. They're all lightning fires.
yeah.
And today's a lightning fire too. So
Yes, we got one today. So I mean, you're preventing.
I am preventing.
You're
Yes.
doing a pretty good job of it too. And then, so I guess we kind of talk about how you got here. So you're just on detail here to the Bitterroot National Forest from the Mark Twain.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Out of Missouri.
Missouri on the Helltech
On
model.
the Helltech. Yep. One of the squatties.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but I displayed your sticker.
I saw that. Looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good, man. I'm pumped to have it.
I'll send you some more when I get back.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Because I'm trying to do maybe like a sticker wall here or something.
yeah.
Yeah, because I got one from another buddy, and then I got the Wildland Firefighter Foundation one. Usually have it on display, but it keeps falling over, so it's on there for a minute typically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where's your fire experience start? I guess
I started in Southern California. I got out of the military, the Navy, after 5 years, and then got hired by the BLM as a GS2 in Atlanta. So if you're familiar with like,
GS2.
a GS2,
Oh man, do they make those anymore?
I don't think not for the Forest Service. I don't think. But then I did. So Atlanta's like south of Mammoth.
Oh, is it? Oh, so it's still kind of northern then if it's south of Mammoth, right?
Yeah, it's kind of central California, and then I did a half a season there, and I went to Joshua Tree National Park for
Joshua
2
Tree?
seasons.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, man, that's where people go to like find themselves.
Oh
right?
yeah, like rock climb. Yeah, find themselves rock climb, and then I went to what was it? Oh, Ravendale on a fire assignment, and I met one of the captains there, and he told me about the apprenticeship program,
Oh.
and so I put in for that, and being a vet, I got in pretty easily, and then
Yeah. What year was that?
that was 04. I
04.
started in January of 04. I started in the Forest Service.
Yeah, that's a good route because, like, I mean, you remember back then, but that was when I just got out of high school and I knew some buddies in the Forest Service. It was really hard to get in the Forest Service back then. And it was really hard to get a perm because there just wasn't that many of them. And
Right.
the apprenticeship was like the only sure way to get one. And I mean, up until recently, it's still a good program. You know, you get out with a lot of classes and stuff, but it's not as critical as it was back then.
Definitely, yeah.
And for me, I was in school and I didn't plan on doing career in fire. So like, I remember a couple people suggesting the apprenticeship for me, but I was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna see where this college thing goes.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got a degree and learned a lot of life skills and stuff. But for career-wise, maybe the apprenticeship would have been a better route.
Yeah, I don't know. Depends on. I guess, yeah, kind of. It depends on what you want to. I mean, it gives you. When I went through the apprenticeship program, you had to do all 3. You had to do a year of fire, of hand crew, engine, and helicopter.
Yeah.
And now, recently, it's like 2 of the 3.
Oh, really?
So you don't get like the full gambit experience. You can kind of pick what you want to do. And
oh, yeah, because I remember. Yeah, because that's how I remember it too. Is like it being 3 things, and then
right.
Yeah, I guess Rachel Berry was I think she's a propeller now. Oh, man, I got to catch up with her, but she was the first apprenticeship that our apprentice person that I talked to since I was done smoke jumping. So I hadn't even paid attention to it, and then she was, I think, rappelling. I want to say out of Price Valley or something. Rappel program out of Price, right?
Sure.
Down there in Idaho, I think. Whew. Yeah. Brain's a little foggy. I used to be better at this. I used to have my locations better, but and she got offered a perm position there, perm 5, I think, and so she kind of transitioned out of the academy and our apprenticeship, and then took that position, which I think is super cool because then if you get on something you really enjoy and the people like you, I mean, it's a really good way to find yourself in a good spot. You know?
And that's really what you had to do in order to not finish the apprenticeship program. You had to, they called it lateraling out of it, so you had to get like a 5 position. Yeah, because you're a perm. Are you a perm 5 when you're in the apprenticeship, or is that like towards the end, or I can't remember how it works? I think you're basically a perm 5 when you get out. Well, when you graduate from a program, you're a perm 5.
Oh, gotcha.
So
yeah, and then they can help get you set up somewhere, right?
Yeah, you get a letter from the labor union saying congratulations, you're now a journeyman or whatever.
Oh.
I don't know if they still do that or not, but back in the day you did.
That's kind of cool, man. So you got like a plaque on the wall or something?
Yeah, I don't have. I mean, yeah, but I never hung mine up.
You never did?
long gone somewhere. I don't
yeah,
know, but
I know.
I'm sure I could get it back if I really cared, but 20 years past, it's like,
yeah,
favor.
I know. It's like with all my certificates, like I remember kind of being pumped out of guard school, and you got like your stack,
Right.
and from all like it's like S130 or whatever it is, and all those different things, and I was like, oh, pumped about it, and then they went to the bottom of my locker at work and stayed there for the next 3 years, and a few of them got crumpled up pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But that used to kind of bite you in the butt back in the day because folks would lose those certificates and then they wouldn't hold up on your master record.
Right, they do an audit and they'd be like, you didn't have it. Like, where's your certificate? Well, let me find it, and then you like make one yourself. Totally. Like, here we go. I found it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because off your master record, it doesn't tell you the instructor, but it tells you when you took the class, and so you can just
remake another one.
Yeah,
that's a good call.
Make a really scrubbly, signature.
Doctor signature on it.
No one really knows. You're like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I took it, especially for some of the basic things. Like I have my buddy because he I think he had his IC4 and his engine boss. And a few other ones that were like a little, further up the chain.
Mm-hmm.
And he took a year off and went and did something else, and then a couple of years maybe, then came back to the Forest Service and got a Perm 5. I think he left as a 6 and had to come back as a 5. And then because he was gone, all of his stuff got lost, so he had to redo a bunch of stuff. And they're pretty lenient with him though, and they just like, go do one IC4, or one engine boss assignment, and not a big deal. I mean, he's pretty much run the show anyways, and all of it. He had a ton of experience, so
yeah. I know a lot of guys that started out way before they even did like the IQCS.
Oh,
and so they're like, "Where's this cert at?" It's like, never had this cert because
I forgot about that.
It's just like, here you go, here's the cert for you.
Yeah. Did you know anybody who like got lost a bunch of stuff? I knew a few guys. It was like right before I started who had that happen, where like they switched over, and a few people they like honored their stuff, and then some other ones they just like, well, but I mean, proof that you were qualified as that, even though it was different rules back then.
I know a couple of smoke jumpers that were like that, like old school smoke jumpers, and like before the IQCS was like really a thing, like the guy was a C-faller, and they're like, yeah, you gotta go back to class.
Yeah, he's like, what?
I've been cutting trees for 30 years. Doesn't matter, go back to class.
Yeah.
And they didn't pass, and it's like, what happened? You didn't pass.
Oh.
That's a whole different, but yeah.
Yeah, totally. Especially because they changed up that like even the with falling, cutting trees, they call it the blood bubble, and I don't think they called that when I first got in, because I remember I was helping cert some A's,
Faller 1, 1, 2s, and 3s. Yeah, I think so.
So was it Faller 3s at the beginning?
I think so. I think that. Yeah.
So like Faller 3s, which used to be Faller A's, and I was helping out with that, and the big term was blood bubble, and I was like, what is that? I don't think I want a blood bubble, And so relearning as you go, I guess, a little bit, all part of the game.
Yeah, they've changed it around now. I can't remember the acronym for it now, but it's got the whole bunch of different steps you're supposed to follow, because there's no size limit anymore. You can cut whatever you're comfortable with.
Oh, really? Jeez.
Now I'll bring it to you later. We can just edit that part out, but I'll show it to you. It's in my car, but yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll come back and I'll be like, so anyways, here's the new rules. Yeah. I'll just on the next one we'll cover that, because I just kind of get out. It's weird how you brain dump information so fast, Well, and then things change, I guess, because like I don't even remember most of the stuff anymore. Because like you said, it used to be a diameter thing, right? Like 24.
Right. Yeah, it went by size of the tree.
Yeah.
And now it's just
DBH.
DBH. Now it's just complexity. So if you're like, oh, I can cut that tree down, and it's super gnarly, and you're like, okay, you kill yourself. Or you're like, well, I guess you weren't. Or whatever. I don't know why they justified it that way, but I guess complexity level makes it better for people, because
I think so too.
You could have a super straight tree that's
push that close to your face.
Super.
You can bring it with you.
Super straight tree that's pretty complex, but or bigger around with straighter. It's easier to cut down.
Yeah, you got a little more meat to work with. That's my buddy Samps, Joe Sampson was my instructor, I guess, for S212, and especially in the field day, he took me and another fellow from Whitehall who, we had a little bit more of the ranching and I guess labor background, so he took us out in the woods separately, because they got a giant class. The whole everyone who needed the course in the whole forest would came to Whitehall, and we all did the in classroom stuff. Then we did our field day, and the Whitehall folks would go last because if we're local, and they could cert us on another day if need be. The other districts be kind of a pain for them to come up, or vice versa, and have the instructors go down there. So Yeah, Joe took me and another sea faller and then another, brand newer guy and took us out to the woods and had a pretty good size. I can't remember if it was like lodgepole. I think it was probably like a lodgepole, but like a little more meat than I thought. Like like in my brain, being a new guy, I was thinking like a little tiny skinny pole and a little pecker pole and cut it over and get started. And he gave me something a little bigger and it was nice because like it's super straight, healthy tree. Like we could work on it. Like healthy as in like no rot or anything.
Right.
But standing dead, and so he helped me out with it. Or no, actually it was a live tree. So. Which, but didn't have much lodgepole, didn't have much branch or anything.
Right.
Overhead hazards, and it was kind of all by itself. So, it took a little more time getting through it, and it really helped me understand holding wood too.
Oh yeah.
And my other friend Mitch Robbins, he did a really good job. Like during the class, I was like, I am not holding wood. I don't know what this is. I'd run saw. I'd cut. My dad's a carpenter.
Right.
Cut lots of wood, but like didn't compute, and the illustrations were not helping my brain. So he took a pencil and he's like, try to pull a pencil apart. So I grab a pencil, I'm like pulling. He's like, see, you can't pull the fibers apart. That's holding wood, but you can snap it. And he snapped it. It's like cutting through all your holding wood.
Oh, that's a good. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, it's the only way my brain would process it. Like focus on. Like, oh, teach my caveman brain, that way. See, pencil intact. See, pencil break. It's like, copy. Yeah, it makes sense now.
Yeah,
but
I like that analogy. It's good.
Yeah, it works out good. I'm more of a visual learner.
I think most people are visual learners. But
yeah,
especially firefighters. It's like, here how you do it. Now go do it. Okay, I got to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get some hands-on training, and then it really sticks. At least for me.
Me too.
All of that stuff, and someone takes you under the wing, work with a helicopter, and you get a little chance to actually work with it. But speaking of that, I'll loop back to you. So we left off at the apprenticeship. And
right.
Where'd you land there?
So I was in there. So my first year was on an engine, and then I went to the helicopter to Chester, California, for my second year. So 506.
Where's Chester?
Northern California. Kind of my Reno area, or towards Reno.
Yeah.
And then my third year I was in the last in Hot Shots.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. No. Yeah.
Not for me.
No, man. Especially if you're like older and like, let me get that closer so you're not reaching. But if you've done like coming out of the military and other stuff, and that's kind of where I was too, like with the Hot Shots. Like I was gonna go for a couple seasons. I had planned out. It typically takes like 3 seasons of hot shotting before you can apply to jump, or at least be a good candidate to jump. And so I was just throwing my Ep at everything. I just happened to land in jumping first, so I didn't spend any time in the shot crew.
Right.
I always thought I'd go back, but then like we were just talking, by the time I got my feet underneath me with the smoke jumping world, like after my second season where I was like happy, enjoying it, and kind of more comfortable, that would have been the time to go smoke jump. And I was like, to go hot shot, and I was like, well, I kind of like this.
Why am I going backwards?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I kind of like this independence and stuff.
Right.
And so I went that route. But I do kind of wish I would have got a little bit more of the crew life when I was younger. I got to do Type 2 IA crews, Great Northern, which is like kind of like a baby version of Hot Shots, got a bunch of like entry-level fire folks, but it runs like Hot Shot mod, like everyone's got their responsibilities, and you have buggies.
I think the Type 2 IA cruise is like a better learning experience, because like when you're Hot Shot, you're gonna dig 16 hours of line. You're not gonna ask questions. You're just gonna,
That's a good point. Yeah, because I was just thinking about that. Yeah, because like we were free to ask questions, free to be independent,
free to
thinkers,
learn things,
free to learn.
Because the soup that was on the last one, he wasn't my soup, but he's air attack now. He might have retired now. Fred Brewster.
Yeah.
He was on my helicopter manager class.
Oh, really?
As an air attack, as like one of those guys to learn, and so he had you had to tell your fire experience, and he's like, when I first started, it was cut line until you see God, or until I tell you to stop.
Oh no.
And that's like that is like upraising and fire, and it's like
just go until you're dead.
Right. So.
Man, that's funny. It used to be so much harder. And like me and you were talking the other day about was it me and you talking about how they used to not have the rest towards the rest ratio?
They would just do 21 and then come back and reset and go back out again. It's
yeah, man. That wind is starting to pick up. I kept hearing something. Can you hear it too?
A little bit, yeah. I can see it outside the window.
Yeah, that's why I was like looking at you, like waiting to see if you saw something really weird.
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, Troop was saying up to 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh yeah.
So, interesting. It's a good thing this thing's a tube. Not much for the wind to grab.
Yep.
But yeah, Type 2A crew is a pretty good deal. So you were in Chester, did you say?
Yeah, in
Chester.
06.
06.
No, yeah, 06.
Oh, gotcha. Dang, you've had a pretty long run then already.
Yeah.
04. You started in fire in 04?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2002 was my first season as a seasonal, and then 04 I got the apprenticeship, and then I was there until 18.
Yeah, that's 20 years.
18, and then I went to Shasta Trinity as a prevention officer for a year, and then August of 20 I went to Missouri on a squatty in a helicopter.
August 2020.
2020. So
2020.
This is my third year there.
Oh, it's pretty recent, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. Man, you got to see some good country, especially being a Helitech crew in Cali, man. You guys probably covered some serious ground.
Yeah. I've actually covered more ground now in Missouri because we have our season starts February 7th.
Oh, geez.
And goes till the end of May, sometimes into June, and then we come west and do whatever we want, basically.
Kind of free to roam.
Yeah, free to roam.
Yeah. I talked to some folks that run the Cherokee Hot Shots and kind of same deal, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like they'd have the real similar fire season, and then they were saying they're almost working 2 seasons because they have their normal fire season out east, and then they come out here. And, man, that's a lot of firefighting.
Yeah, I'd be burnt out.
I was just gonna say, I think that'd be. It's hard because I'm thinking of a washed up firefighter brain right now.
Right.
I got a ton of hours in, but young me, especially 18-year-old, 20-year-old me would be yeah, let's do that.
2,000 hours. There's $2 million. Yes. Go for it. Me, I'm yeah. I have home time and
yeah, I'm with you. Yeah,
family time, and I enjoy free time, and
yeah, totally. You get home projects and stuff, and think about the fence and the garden and the grass and dogs and family and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it'd be really hard to. Yeah, there's nothing that would probably make me go, fight fire on that level anymore.
Right. Yeah,
which is probably good though, because one of my really good friends, Julian Waring, was I'm trying to get high enough and at a reasonable time so that when my body starts failing, I'm more in an office situation. I'm that's a good point. And I think he was a 7 at the time, so he was on a good path.
Yeah, well, it was a good path.
Yeah, I was that's smart, because I was already having nothing real bad, but I just feel a little more soft.
Right.
Sleep on the ground hurt a little bit more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All the little things that start kind of creeping up on you.
Yeah, when you jump out of the engine 50 times a day, you're no, you climb out of the engine, because when you're 25, your knees are gonna hurt.
Yeah, I know. So that's what the kid's telling you. Yeah. Oh, especially if you're carrying anything on the back of the engine and you gotta climb down. Make sure you actually climb down. So grabbing a QB and just jumping off.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, but wait a few years and
yeah,
and then you'll feel it.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah. And did you ever? So how's the poison oak on you?
I get it sometimes.
Yeah.
I've only had it really bad one time. We were in.
We're about to lose power? No? Ooh. Yeah.
We're north of Chico on a fire.
It sounded like hail almost. Do you see it? Hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't tell with leaves from the tree falling on it, or.
Yeah. I guess quick public announcement for the old listeners at home. Right now we're in the eye of a storm that's pretty gnarly. They predicted up to 60-mile-an-hour winds, quite a bit of precip, rain coming with it, and decent chance we might lose power. So we'll just keep rolling until it's dark, I guess. And I got these lights too. I can pop them on if we lose power. So yeah. Anyways, so if you see us looking around, apologies. We're just making sure we're not going to blow away. But yeah, so you got the poison oak only one time real bad, you said?
Yeah, one time real bad. I was swamping from my Sawyer, and
that's probably the recipe for it, huh?
It was 3 inches thick of poison oak, and I had it all over the place. And I went to the doctor, and he's like, "What do you get for the poison oak?" I usually get the cream. I usually get here and there. And he laughed at me, and he's like, "You're gonna get the shot today." So I was like, "Okay, no problem."
Yeah.
And the nurse was like, "This is gonna hurt," and so I got the shot on my shoulder. And 30 seconds later, I'm flush and sweaty, and I had to lay down on the gurney, and I was fanning myself. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Just give me a second." It was the worst pain ever. For 30 seconds of intense
That's weird. No, because no one talks about that, right?
Right, yeah. They're like, they usually say the shot hurts when you get it. Like, didn't hurt me at all. And it's like the after effect. But after like 30 seconds or a minute later, I was like, fine.
It's like
weird
internal battle with the
I guess. I don't know.
The histamines, the antihistamine, and whatever else was mixing in there.
But yeah, that's the only time I ever got a shot, and I really haven't gotten it too bad since then. So
that's good. Dang.
Pretty lucky.
Yeah, I never, to my knowledge, I've never gotten it. Like I thought I had a little bit on my back one time, like a little spot, but like I think it was just like a rash from my belt because I have like really bad dry skin.
Oh right.
Yeah, like it'll get a little festered up once in a while if it. Woo. Oh. That last little gust, I was like,
That's pine needles.
Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah. That's probably what the sound is, huh?
That's what I think.
Yeah. Oh, I felt a little moisture.
Maybe a little rain out there. I can't tell.
It's
definitely raining.
Some big old drops is probably the noise, eh? Kind of nice, cooling things off a little bit.
Yeah.
Might have to close the hatch here in a sec. Have you, ever since though, you never got it real bad then?
No, not like, I really haven't been exposed too much of it to it, but that was just that one time it was really bad, and then, but yeah, for the most part, no.
Oh, that's good, man. Could you sleep that night, or like after you got the shot?
Yeah, I slept pretty well, yeah.
Oh, that's good. I'm getting mist.
Yeah,
I'm getting mist. Are you getting misted? Nice. Yeah, I don't like waiting until it gets too bad. You can kind of see it floating around behind the camera. You can see it in the light there.
Yeah.
It's good times. It's all part of the experience here,
I like it.
The outdoor experience in the Airstream. Yeah. Pretty sweet. Like I said, I'm pretty lucky. I've been around some folks that got it real bad. I think I was telling you the story of when I first went to Reading, and there was a fellow who had jumped out of every single jump base except for Reading, and he finally, he just the luck of the draw, and just never got the boost there. And so he's an older fellow. He'd been jumping for a little while, and so he was gonna get his Reading jump, his R5 jump, and and when you get to the base, you try to help out with all the products because they're usually a little bit behind because they've been jumping and busy. So you try to help out, like, packing their parachutes, checking parachutes. We even help repair some of their cargo chutes. And then, so your hands are up on the fabric, like, call it silk. It's not silk anymore, but you're up on the silk, and oh man, the oil's everywhere. And I found out, and he got it real bad. And I didn't think anything of it because no one told me. I had no idea how the oil works, but it's just like everywhere in Northern California. Oh, yeah. And it's so fine, you don't even notice it. And that's what happened to him. And I don't think I saw him the next day, but I was kind of too busy being a rookie and keep my head down. So I was like, I wonder where he went. And then, like a day later, he showed up back at the base and he had cream on both arms. Yeah, I think he had to get the shot too. And then lucky enough, though, he had really good quals, so he was able to go get farmed out to one of the bigger fires in less poison country, it sounded like.
Right.
But I don't know if there's really less in Northern California.
Well, as you go farther away from the coast, like where I worked in the last night, we didn't have. There was a few in like the really deep drainages, but not really where we were at. So
more of a wet plant like kind of deal, like.
Yeah, it enjoys the moisture.
Higher humidities and stuff.
Yeah. Like the LP along Santa Barbara is notorious for its poison oak.
Oh, really?
So there's a story. It's not true at all, but
hey, don't let the truth get in the way of the story.
The story behind it is like when World War II was happening, they were like afraid the German or the Japanese were going to invade the coast, so they bioengineered poison oak, so it was like super bad.
Super poison oak.
It's super poison oak, yeah. But I mean, it's horrible down there, but it's not like that true story. That story is not true at all. It's just one of those urban legends that they're like, yeah, we didn't want the Japanese invading, so that we made super poison oak. But I mean, like, yeah, that's just bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's just normal poison oak, but
yeah, it's super poison.
A lot of it. Yeah, you hear hunting stories of folks like in the Midwest or something, like tracking an animal or where they're doing and crawling through it and not knowing it because sometimes it's dark, especially your blood trailing, and get home and may not even notice it that night, but at some point it's gonna wake you up and like you'll be itching.
Yeah. Well, in the wintertime around us we have poison ivy, and it goes dormant, so it doesn't.
Oh, really? It's
not really. I mean, we do get it during the springtime. We do get some blooms, but for the most part, if you're like trudging through the woods in the winter time, your likelihood of getting it is less because it's not all bloomy.
Yeah, probably not secreting.
Yeah, not secreting as much.
Yeah, that makes sense. I remember, like, I was telling you the story the other day when I was in Arkansas and I was slicing up a tree and there's something else in it. So I was like checking it out. And I was like, bear hugging the tree literally and like
Mhm.
walking around it and like looking at something I think it was like a weird mushroom or something, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. And they're like, man, that boy must like poison oak, is what they were telling one of the other jumpers. And I was
Right.
like, oh yeah, it's my favorite. And I'm like, good, because he's just been hugging it. And I was like, oh, well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
And yeah, nothing happened, thank God.
A lot of it, I think, is genetics too. Like certain people are just predisposed to getting it, and
Yeah.
like my old boss, he's a type 1 logs chief, and one girl got it so bad. I don't know why they didn't take her home,
Oh
but
yeah.
every day she would get new clothes and new sleeping bag
Oh,
because it
jeez.
would just be like everywhere. And she was like, I don't know why, like it was weird because she had like blisters. I wasn't there, but she had like blisters all over her, and they're like every day she gets a new sleeping bag, a new set of clothes because she can't.
I've heard of that happening, and they just take it away and try
Yeah.
to wash it with whatever that detergent is. To
Yeah,
get rid
use
of
Dawn-dish detergent, works the best for poison oak. I mean, takes away all
oil.
the oils out of there, and
Works good on grease. So
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Whatever that formula is.
yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
Oh dang, man! What a multi-use thing. 'Cause don't they use it on like oil and stuff for like
Mhm.
the
Yeah, for the wildlife.
wildlife?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, you ever gone on one of those assignments?
Nope, unfortunately not.
No, me either. Did you go on the space shuttle recovery?
No, my boss did, and then one of my other bosses, we were on a helicopter together. He was a squatty. He went to Texas on the other one,
Oh.
and he took a machete because they were like, you might want a machete, and he's like, I guess he like whacked through a bunch of bushes, and then like 2 feet later it was like more bushes, so he gave that up anymore and started low crawling through everything. So
Oh, jeez. Yeah, 'cause like the debris and stuff, they're trying to recover anything that might be like
yeah,
sensitive. and
any
everything.
piece, yeah.
Oh.
And somebody was telling me they like were down there and they found this piece they thought might have been it, and like so they like called the experts over, and it was like an armadillo carcass.
Oh, whoa.
So they're like, it's like,
Dumb Northerners.
yeah, you dumb people.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd probably be me. Like, check out this weird thing.
Yeah,
Like,
right. I mean, you don't know.
No.
If you've never seen an armadillo before, you're like, what is this ribbed thing? It could be part of the shuttle or no.
Yeah, like all curled up, kind of
Yeah.
weird. You're like, huh? It's got a weird face and it's looking at me.
Right.
A live
It's an
one.
alien.
Yeah. I think it was clinging on. Yeah, because that was an interesting one. Because like there were so many folks when I first got on that had gone on that shuttle.
Yeah.
Like recovery and telling different stories about it. So I was like, we do that? I had no idea. I thought we were just be in the woods cutting things. You
Right.
know? So I was like, oh.
Yeah, they send mostly hot shots down the Katrina, and I had friends that went to Katrina on the hot shots, and
Oh yeah.
they did mostly cutting trees, or they would ship water out and stuff like that. But I've never been on any of that stuff.
No, yeah, I never did any disaster. I guess kind of locally in Whitehall.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I've been on kind of disaster relief, and like the Paradise Fire, we were there for that and kind of did some disaster relief, but not like dedicated coming
Yeah,
after the fact and things. But
that's what we just went and sandbagged a few houses. One of the engine foreman was in like the floodplain, so
Mhm.
for PT we went and jogged over in our PT clothes and helped fill and stack some sandbags for him,
Yeah.
for a little while. And yeah, about the extent I think my alternative public service, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Besides fire. Man. So I meant to ask you this the other day. Have you had any of those like hard landings? Have you ever had auto rotate? Any of that action?
Nope, nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you got really good luck.
I have had a lot of good luck.
I'm torn between like wanting to fly with you and not wanting to fly with you. Because like I was always told the odds.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I only really know one person personally that went down in a helicopter. So
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I knew one guy who was a Marine, like Special Forces Marine. He's been in a bunch of crashes. Well, he's been in a bunch of crashes, but like, this is a Marine, but he also went back as a contractor. Was in a couple crashes for that, and
back overseas.
back overseas, and
Jeez.
back when Afghanistan was still going on, and he was in a couple crashes, and he still flies with us occasionally. So
Oh really?
It's like-
Doesn't phase him.
doesn't phase him. Like,
Yeah. Been through enough, I guess.
I guess if you crash enough times, you're like, it's not gonna happen again.
Yeah, I guess. Jeez, yeah, getting the bad luck out and
Yeah.
all good luck from there. Yeah, I've heard from some folks that have come down a little harder. Like just maybe it's like friend of a friend or somebody else that like I've talked to randomly. We're just saying like the part that sucks is how it compresses your spine so hard when you hit the
Oh, right,
ground.
yeah.
Like even if you're in the crash position, it's still like
Mhm.
nothing really keeping your spine from just hammering down on
Right,
itself.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be brutal. 'Cause
Well, I
that-
think it'd be worse if it like wasn't a. Well, I don't know how well the crashing position protects you really, but like if the seats weren't collapsible
oh,
and the skids collapse out to absorb the shock. I think it'd be a lot.
True.
Probably be like jumping off a table, landing on your butt.
Yeah, all that tailbone stuff.
But yeah, without the rest of that stuff.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah, I didn't think about that because they're designed to pretty much turn into an egg, right? Everything's supposed to come off of it except for the main.
Yeah, because the feet spread out, or the rotor or the
skids
spread out,
Yeah.
and then everything else, and the seats collapse too. So
Yeah.
that's why you don't put anything underneath the seat, and
Yeah.
you don't put your hands underneath there. You get your fingers taken off.
Yeah, I think someone told me that. Yeah, because crash position is just up on your thigh.
Yeah,
right?
on your thighs, and then tuck your head or put your head back, depending on which way you're facing. But
I don't know if that was headlights or lightning flash. Did you see it?
probably lightning flash.
Lightning flash? Yeah, so I was kind of wondering. I got the bad angle here. I'm staring at the wall. Oh, yeah, there's the thunder. You got the good skyline view. I just got a wall in front of me. So let me know if it gets bad. Close things down a little bit. Oh, man. So Missouri. So now you're in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mark Twain.
Mark Twain.
What's we talk about this quite a bit, but what's the future hold, do you think? There for life?
I think I'll probably finish my career there.
Yeah.
I've only got, the least I have 2 years left. I'll probably do 5 for sure.
Yeah.
And then, but I might try and find my high 3 somewhere, and then.
That'd be a good move.
Yeah. But Missouri's, I don't really like where I live because I'm 100 miles from everything.
Yeah.
So but we spent a lot of time in St. Louis, so we'll probably move there because retirement's, I think they only charge like 25% of your retirement for federal.
Yeah.
And they're talking about getting rid of state Social Security tax.
Oh, really?
So that'd be, if that's the truth, that'll be perfect.
Yeah. You'll be seeing me moving next to you in a few years.
Yeah. Because St. Louis is a big city, and we enjoy going up there, and they have all kinds of, if you want to see football, you just go to Kansas City, which is like 5 hours away. But
oh, true. Yeah, go watch the Chiefs play.
Yeah, go watch the Chiefs play, and you got a brand new soccer stadium up there, and they did really well this year, I guess. Oh, really? I know some guys that follow soccer, and the St. Louis soccer team did really well this year, and
yeah, MLS, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I haven't followed the MLS in so long.
Oh, neither have I.
No idea about it.
Oh yeah,
and Kansas City Royals too, right? Baseball.
They have St. Louis
Cardinals.
Cardinals there, and
hockey, St. Louis Blues.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, so it's.
I haven't spent any time. I've driven through St. Louis a bunch, but never spent any time. I actually drove through St. Louis in the middle of winter. I think it was in January with a sailboat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, towing a sailboat. The whole city was pretty much shut down, and it was so cold that, like, what I could tell of the river was all frozen. I mean, there might have been like a little channel that wasn't, like how usually like the river will freeze in the edges and works its way to the center. And from what I could see, it looked like the whole thing was frozen.
It probably was.
Yeah,
it gets pretty cold up there.
It was brutal, man. And we just got back we were trying to sail the Bahamas, and we didn't make it, so we were trying to make our way back to Montana. And 4 of us stuffed in an extended cab Tacoma, pulling like a 26-foot sailboat.
Yeah. Like I've never been to St. Louis before until I moved there. And I didn't realize how big, like the Mississippi or the Missouri River is.
Yeah,
it actually starts here in Montana.
Yeah,
and goes all the way west and then all the way down to.
Yeah, that's part of Missouri right there, huh?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was Mississippi. Man,
I think it ties into the Mississippi, but it's the Missouri River right there.
Jeez, yeah, I didn't know that either. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you live in Missouri River. Makes sense, I guess. Oh man, yeah, that's wild how cold it was. Like we kind of got lucky though because we didn't have any traffic really because no one was leaving their house.
Right. Yeah.
There's these dumb Montana driving through and it's nasty. Like I think it was post blizzard maybe because we weren't really in it, but it was gnarly. Like St. Louis was all right and we were driving slow, and then after that, I don't even know. Pretty much the whole way back home it was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, parts of Wyoming they shut down they might even shut down I don't know if they shut down parts of Montana, but I know parts of Wyoming get shut down. Yeah,
eastern Montana will get shut down. Sometimes they have the little barricades that go over.
Right.
Yeah, me and the family, the wife and kiddo were stuck in, Rapid City last year because they shut down a chunk of that. And then we got stuck, I guess before that even, we got stuck in Sheridan, I want to say. I'm trying to remember the events, how it went. But I know we had part of it in Sheridan, Wyoming was shut down. So we made Sheridan, but then anything heading east was shut down. Then we made it past, and then by the time we got to Rapid City, it was shut down for a couple days. So we were in a hotel for a couple days in Rapid City.
Yeah,
nice little town though, man. Good food, so it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, I think that helps out a lot if there's a big city to do things in.
Yeah, nice folks. Like everyone was super nice, and they you can even because it gets cold there all the time in South Dakota, so they you can check out an extension cord.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they don't charge you anything. You just got to bring it back, and then
Right.
if you keep it, then they charge you.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, super handy. Like, wife went in to check in to the room, and we're just like waiting in the car. It's so cold, so we didn't even want to turn it off, And she comes out with an extension cord. I'm like, what happens? I'm like, complimentary extension cord? She's like, kind of. Pretty handy. So we just plugged it in, and man, it makes such a difference. You plug it in your rig in the winter and cold weather, and you get heat faster. The engine starts way nicer. Like,
we plug our tender in the wintertime.
Oh yeah, even in Missouri, hey?
In Missouri.
Yeah, how cold do you guys get? I mean, you guys.
Well, last year we had like a week of like -30 with wind chill and everything. It was so cold, like we had to put when Shasta had to go outside, we put our boots on real fast, which she hated, and then we should go outside and use the facilities and then come back in. It was like you couldn't go anywhere for like a week.
Oh, it's brutal, man.
It was miserable. But now we're having 120-degree real feel.
It's real feel?
Yeah.
120?
120 with humidity and heat index, and which is always extreme UV index. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're outside for like 5 minutes and you're burnt to a crisp. Well, you'd be darker than you are now, but
yeah, just back to my normal color.
Yeah, back to your normal color.
Yeah, especially like in high school when I didn't have a job and like a steady job, like just flipping burgers, or if I was helping somebody out with construction, like my dad or my uncle or somebody, or one of my buddies' ranches, I wouldn't have a shirt on, just be in shorts anyway, so it'd be pretty dark by the end of summer,
right.
But now I'm like an office guy, so
yeah,
I'm getting pasty. my white side's coming through. I thought I heard like one of those Amber Alerts. Was that you?
I don't know. Shouldn't be. No.
Yeah, not me either. Just the sound of all the weather moving in, I guess. Kind of cool though. Last hot day for a while was today though.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 65 tomorrow.
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens.
Change, yeah. Fair tomorrow. Big
fair tomorrow.
Happening. Oh, man. So you're like your stay so far. I mean, you've seen a lot of wildlife just out of your window.
Have. Yeah, I have a badger that came to visit me one time. Baby badger that came to visit me one time, and
that's so cool.
Got some chuckers, I guess, but everyone's like, "You need to feed them, or they're gonna die. They're stupid."
Oh, the chucker?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
I don't know.
I mean, it should be all right? I mean, they've been living here for a while now.
Yeah, I'm thinking somebody has been feeding them because the first day they came to my window and picked on the window.
I was like, "Hey,"
the sliding glass window, and like, "Hey, come feed us." But I hear them every once in a while in the morning, but I haven't seen them since. So.
Either a leaf or something just walked by. I mean,
yeah.
So maybe you're attracting all the animals. Something moving in on us.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And some deer, of course.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, pretty good time to be out here. Getting some weather and then in the changes and the fair and stuff. So interesting stuff going on.
Yep.
And then you gotta find yourself a Ju Jitsu gym. So that's pretty handy. So I want to get in that too. When have you always? I mean, like, when did you physical fitness become part of your life? Has it always been just like
it's always been? Yeah,
stable?
I've always in sports since like whenever you can start in soccer. I was in soccer during the summer.
Oh really? Yeah, I think we talked about this, right?
Swimming, and then in high school I did cross country, swimming, and soccer.
Oh wow!
And so in the military, I PT'd all the time. But yeah, I've always
super fit.
Been not super fit, but I've always been fit. In
high school, I mean, like you're doing all three of those sports.
Yeah.
That those are all running, highly involved running sports.
Yes, a lot of running. Yes.
So were you in really good shape when you went in the military? Like
I was in good shape. Yeah.
Basic probably wasn't too bad for you.
No, it's kind of easy in the army or the Navy anyway. It's 8 weeks, and so most people lose abilities in there. I mean, some people gain ability because they've never done like serious things before, but most people who are in shape struggle to stay in shape when they're in 8 weeks in the
I talked to a fellow who gained weight during it.
Yeah.
But I think you kind of have that in everything. Like, so some people's bodies work a little different. I lost a ton of weight during rookie training, and then I talked to another guy who gained a bunch of weight during rookie training. It's funny how like different people can operate. Like I didn't, I don't drink right now just because like it just messes with my guts, and I just don't like mess with it. I'm like feeling half hungover. I don't like brain fog, so it's just nothing enjoyable about it for me anymore. Like I still kind of figure like one day, maybe just enjoying some wine, me and the wife be on the porch or something, or with a steak or something. But right now, I just no desire for it.
Right.
But one of my friends, he'd have beer every night. I was like, dude, I couldn't even imagine. Like,
No.
I was always super dehydrated every day.
Oh, yeah.
It was really hot. I guess his started a little earlier, so maybe it was a little cooler, so he wasn't quite as bad. But I almost washed the first day because I was so dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wrecked. Like, I was all clawed up like a little T-Rex walking around. I could barely get my PT shoes on for the last PT of the day, and that's when I knew I was like, this is a real bad deal.
Yeah.
So I started hammering water and some electrolytes, and didn't really make it through the last PT. I kind of did, and then and then I just didn't really sleep for the next week because I was so behind the curve that I just spent all night just drinking Pedialyte and then it's coming out as fast as it's going in at that point too, you know, but just trying to get all the salt stores back in my body back up, and of course the first week's one of the hardest. So
I was reading an interesting article a couple of days ago about like dehydration, and everyone's like just pounds water, and it's like, well, you gotta drink water obviously, but like you get hypernatremia if you drink too much water, which throws your electrolyte balance off. But they're saying like juice, like orange juice and apple juice, actually hydrate you better because there's more sugar in there. Yeah. And there's other things in your body doesn't like just process like water, you know, so.
Yeah, totally. Like, you know, like those goo packs and stuff like that that people take when they're doing those ultra runs, because like you said, like you could probably make it, but your body will not be performing very well if you're just drinking water on some high output thing like that or some kind of hard training. Have you ever done any like hard training like that since? Because I know you were talking about like some of the like Jocko workouts and stuff.
No, I do Ruck events. So they're team building events led by Special Forces. Actually, I'm doing 2 next weekend. Actually.
Oh, really?
In Billings.
Oh, no way.
Bozeman. I think we're in Bozeman.
Oh, cool. There's 2 of them in Bozeman?
So yeah, the one on Friday is like the 9/11 memorial, and then this one on Saturday is called the Horse Soldiers.
Oh, really?
And they're the first Green Berets in Afghanistan after 9/11.
Oh yeah, isn't there a movie about them?
Yeah, it's called 12 Strong.
Oh, 12 Strong. Oh,
there's also a book.
Oh.
But the movie's actually better because the book tries to like get you involved, like you're actually there.
Oh.
And so the book is, I think it has Chris Hemsworth and Michael Pena in it.
Oh, really?
So I highly recommend to watch it. The movie, it's good.
But not reading the book?
You can read the book too.
But not as... It's weird because most like movies after books, people are like, it's okay, but the book's way better.
Yeah.
But this is the opposite, huh?
Well, the book, I enjoy the book because it tries to like bring you into the action, but the movie is, I guess, more fast paced, so it's more like entertaining.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I can see that. You know, some of the downtime in books and stuff, kind of slow moments, but the actual, you know, how it actually went down.
Right.
Yeah.
But the one funny part about the book is like they're working with the Nationals, and they have radios. The locals are talking to the Taliban, and there's one lady. She's a pilot in like the C-130 or whatever the gunship is. I can't remember what it is. And he's like calling the Taliban, laughing because they're just getting annihilated by the Taliban are getting annihilated by the C-130 gunship. Yeah. You know, and the guys on the radio, the locals on the radio, like laughing at him. Hey, you're getting your ass kicked by a woman and all that stuff. And it's so it was pretty funny.
Dig the knife in a little deeper that way. Yeah.
But that's part. I don't think that's part of the movie. It's part of the book for sure. But
oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised they wouldn't include that too, because that seems like kind of a powerful part. You know.
Yeah. Like, they might have. But I just can't remember.
Well, for everyone listening, you have to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out too, because I don't know how I missed that one, because you know usually I like to check that out because it's part of history. You know? So it's, you know, like where you come from is kind of an important deal, you know.
Yeah, the book and the movie are the same name, 12 Strong. So
that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, not like reading some of the like special ops, spec ops, special ops.
Spec ops or special ops, right? Yeah.
Make sure I'm saying that right. Reading a few of those books before I went to rookie training really helps, because it helps kind of with the mindset, you know. And I'd never gone through like training like that before, so I was reading these books, and it more started because I was on the Great Northern, and we were going out on it, you know, this time of year, or maybe September. It's probably September. Days are getting shorter. Like fire's not as active, so during the day you're getting a little more downtime, you know. So especially traveling a buggy, like a lot more time to hang out, you know, in the back. So I think it was No Easy Day. I just picked up at Walmart on our way out. Like I just was like, man, I think I need a book. And that was a really good read, because he had some really good tips. I think in that one, and it's just common phrase, but I'm pretty sure he mentioned that one about like how to eat an elephant. You heard that before?
I think is that the Osama bin Laden one, or is that the one where The guy loses his eye.
Bin Laden. Yeah,
Oh, Bin
it's on
Laden,
Bin
yeah.
Laden raid. Yeah.
I read about half of it, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of bored, and I skipped to the end of it.
Oh, did you really?
The
Yeah.
same thing with the movie. I mean, was it Zero Dark 30 or whatever?
Yeah, like same thing. Right?
thing. I like watched half of it. I was like, this is boring. I took a nap actually halfway through because I was tired, and the movie's kind of boring. And then,
Oh, is it really?
in my opinion, I mean, people
Yeah.
probably love it.
Yeah, everyone's
But-
got their own taste, though.
Then I watched. Then I just skipped to the end when they do the Bin Laden assault,
Oh yeah.
and all you see is darkness and like pen lights,
Oh really?
and then because you can't. I mean, because they did it in dark, and they like. It's not like the old movies when it's like dark, but it's like green lit dark. You know, like
green
back
lit or
when,
gray kind of.
yeah, gray when you're
back in
like
the
you
day.
can still things like classic John Wayne movies. You know, where like in the Green Beret, they're like at night, it's like dark but still gray, so you can like see what's going on. But this is like totally pitch black and like.
Oh really?
Did they actually do anything? I
Yeah,
mean, maybe
see-
they did, but I don't.
And what do they call them? Night vision nods.
Yeah, nods, night vision devices, or whatever they are. But yeah,
Yeah. Like, well, you figure they'd make it look like you're at least, like the
right.
audience.
You would
was
think
in
so, but yeah,
nods. Yeah.
they just had total black, and they had like pen lights flashing around. So
Oh, maybe they're trying to not give something away. You know what I'm saying?
maybe, or yeah, I don't know.
Scare more people. Strange,
Yeah.
strange take on it. 'Cause like all the movies I'm used to, especially like I said, even from like black and white, it's just a little bit darker. You
Mhm.
know,
Right? Yeah.
but it wasn't completely black, unless you watch like what the heck was that movie? Blair Witch Project or
Oh, right. Yeah. The
yeah.
movies are supposed to be like super dark like that.
yeah. The first like Cloverfield. There's like
Mm.
that one.
I've never seen that one yet. But
Oh, it's
I want to watch it.
It's similar to Blair Witch, where it's like a home video camera,
Mhm.
and running around. Yeah, that was a little spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Movies, I think it's funny because I think in the fire community too, like movies kind of bond us all too because of
Oh, yeah, for
some of the
sure, yeah.
downtime,
Right, yeah.
So watching training videos and stuff,
Mhm.
Like I was somewhere in, I think, I don't know if this was in Alaska, but like the stories just blend together. But we were smoked in, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't
Mhm.
fly in, couldn't fly out, and so we're watching training videos, and it was it Red Dawn? Is that the one when the Russians invade?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we watched Red Dawn. For trainings, they
Mhm.
were jumping parachutes, jumping grounds,
Oh yeah.
and then I think that same year I found out that they actually used some smoke jumpers from Missoula.
Oh, did they?
As the actors? Yeah, so
Hmm.
like the background folks that
Mhm.
are just all the Russians that are coming in. I think
Right.
were actual like Missoula. Some were actual Missoula smoke jumpers.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was wild. Like one of the guys who was in the film, I was packing around, and he's like, "I used to jump one of these," and I was like, "Oh yeah," and just started talking to me about it, and
Nice.
yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I was in Red Dawn." I was like, "What?"
The original from the '80s, probably not the '80s, but probably the remake, huh?
No, in the 80s. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
the 80s one?
older fella. Yeah, so yeah, it was the OG one.
Nice.
Can
That
you
was better. That was way better than the remake was.
That's what I heard. I never saw the remake. I just saw the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
Wolverines.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty good show. The old Red Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even. It's the new one's got like a Hemsworth or something in it, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Oh.
But
Pretty
yeah,
good
I
show.
mean, it takes parts of the original, and like, I don't know, it's a modern twist. It's like South. Is it North? I think North Korea is the
Oh yeah,
The bad
it's
guys
the
now.
Russians. Yeah.
instead of the world doesn't fall apart. They just invade. Like the first one, the world falls apart, and
And-
it's Russians and Cubans and like a multinational.
Oh, I don't even remember
Organ-
that from the first one. Yeah. I remember being like Russians. I thought, but I didn't realize it was the whole campaign. Like.
Yeah, it might have been all the Russians, but I can't remember. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, something to watch, something to
Yeah.
follow up on. So then, I guess back to your athletic stuff. So, fitness, and to me, I think it's important to have like a lifelong fitness
Mhm.
routine. I mean, you talk about this a bunch, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, like sometimes at a certain age, it seems like I had some friends kind of fall off after high school, or people I knew that like just kind of got busy and just whatever happened and fell off the fitness wagon and didn't have any plans to really go back to it. And it's just life stuff happens, I guess. But for me, it's always been super important to be
Oh yeah. For
physically
sure.
active. So, what made you stay on the path?
I really enjoy it. Really.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any like motivation to. I mean, obviously, when you're in fire, you want to keep up with the 20-year-olds and
Yeah.
be able to beat them up the hill or outpack them or whatever. But it's like always something I just really enjoy and have stuck with. And I follow like Stu Smith. He's a SEAL and he does programs for people who want to be in fire or law enforcement, whatever, for free at a month. out of Maryland.
Oh, really?
And so it's called Heroes of Tomorrow. It's what the free program he's got. But he's got a whole bunch of books. So you just go to the website, stewsmith.com. And
Oh, cool. Heroes of Tomorrow, you said?
yeah, Heroes of Tomorrow. And
Oh,
but I use the 40 and over group.
yeah.
He's got a specific series of books for 4.
Oh, that's the book you were showing me
And then,
yesterday.
yeah, that's the books I use. And he does what's called periodization, is what he calls it. And so,
Yeah.
like, each 4 months, I guess, is like a different, like, so you start out, like, we'll say you start out in January, you're, like, lifting weights. And then as spring comes along, you start doing more cardio, less lifting weights. And then summer is, like, mostly cardio, a little bit of weights. And then you transition as the winter times comes back into lifting weights. And
That's a pretty good deal, especially because for most folks who live in winter areas, the cardio is a little bit harder to get to.
Right.
Like you can't just go and run or hike or
yeah,
bike outside. I mean, you can do a little bit of that and indoors, but treadmill. I mean, some people got the fortitude to stand a treadmill for miles, but
Can't do
oh man, I have a hard time.
yeah, I'm like 10 minutes, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Like if I stretch after 10 minutes, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Like usually I gotta have like a mile goal set before I get on, and then it's not as bad. But yeah, even then, I mean, and my joints, like my hips and even my back, I'm trying to think, like I get a little more sore, like from the treadmill. Like I don't really like the way that like, my body reacts with it, because you're bringing the belt to you instead of like your foot, meeting the ground kind of deal. So
I think if you put it like, what is it, like a half an incline, I think that's like the same as like running on the asphalt.
oh, gotcha.
Or pretty close to it,
Yeah, get a little bit of a hill action on it.
Yeah.
Because they have those ergonomic ones that are almost like a U, aren't they?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and I think some of those are like self-propelled, so it's kind of
Yeah.
however fast you're running.
Right. And I think also the thing I like about Stu Smith is because he considers everybody like tactical athletes, so you have to be good at everything, but not great at any one. Like a sports person who's like a football player, you play linebacker, that's your job, you just want to be excellent at the linebacker position. Whereas, for us, or 99% of people in the world who aren't that way, you want to be able to do good at like everything, like natural disasters comes, you want to be able to like take your kid out the door, or climb out the window if you have to, or whatever. So you want to be, those skills.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense, man. And like not just like one direction. Like I know a lot of folks, friends of mine, who long distance runners, and they run a lot, and that's their physical activity, which is, like you said, really good. But you're not working any lateral movement, you're not doing any sprinting or any of the powerlifting things that I think are important in age. And like you said, for more like the functional, if you need to, like you said, power clean your kid on your shoulder or whatever,
Right.
and like climb up whatever over a giant fence or whatever,
Yep.
like you said, if a flood or whatever might be coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, use your body. We got another fire?
Huh?
So we got another fire?
No, I had to email Cody. He's asking about fair tickets.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, getting all lined out.
Yeah.
For LA County Fair. I'd do an announcement on the podcast, but this one's coming out after the fair will be over. So
Yeah.
yeah. So anyone listening, hope you enjoyed the fair.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, it'll be good, man. Yeah, I won't be there tomorrow, but the next few days. Yeah, I think like being part of a team, like a group, like Go Ruck, and like the fellow you mentioned, blank on his name, you just mentioned it, with the 40+ workout.
That was Stu Smith, yeah.
Stu Smith, yeah. I think that's I think it's important, man. Like, and especially if someone putting some, like you were telling me about Arnold, right?
Mm-hmm.
He does like a positive.
Yeah, the Arnold Pump Club. He does it every day. He sends out positive messages and has a workout. Usually, like workouts on Monday, and then like he'll have a challenge. He'll tell you something, and then like Friday is like a challenge for you to do over the weekend.
Oh, really?
He's like too much negativity on the internet, so we're gonna build our. He calls it his positive corner of the internet.
Yeah.
I think he's got like 50,000 followers or something like that. And
Jeez.
he calls it his village, but it's still like,
More like a city.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a metropolis, but he calls it his village. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's worth checking out too. And he's got recipes that he sends out all the time. And
Oh, really?
yeah,
That's really cool. I think it's important, man. Like, you can never like overdo the positivity. And
oh yeah, heck yeah, because people are so negative nowadays, and
yeah,
negativity is contagious. And
it really is, man.
so,
I remember. I don't know if it was someone told me this, but I remember thinking even like in sports, like it's like you said, it's contagious like a virus, man.
Yeah.
Like one person starts like moping around, or even like on a fire assignment,
Mhm.
like yeah, it could suck, but like if one person gets a sour attitude, it just ruins the whole bunch.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
man, like, yeah, we all know it sucks.
Yeah. We're all in it together.
Yeah.
We're in the suckiness together.
Yeah, exactly. Embracing the suck as a group. And the thing about that's kind of funny though is because like as a wildland firefighter, you just kind of embrace it, and especially like the longer you go in it, it's like, well, it's what I signed up for. So
Right.
people just end up getting more funny with the suck, Just hear some random stuff getting thrown, thrown around in a conversation that like out of people you wouldn't expect it too.
Right. Yeah.
Like sometimes the most quiet person on the crew all of a sudden started saying some wild stuff. You're like, wait a minute, I didn't know that was inside you. Person was all shy the whole time.
Where were you again?
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you do with that rich person?
Yeah, exactly. Then things calm down, you get back to normal, and they're back to normal too. You're like,
Yeah.
a little crazy for a minute there.
That's right.
But yeah, it definitely makes it entertaining. It's super fun that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the variety getting fires is pretty awesome. But yeah, the importance, man, like you said, of working out, and I kind of notice it too. Like I'm playing hockey now, and because for me, I wasn't sprinting anymore. It's so hard for me to like make myself go to the track and do sprints because it's just not fun.
Well, yeah.
Like it. I used to be pretty fast. I was in college track. I wasn't winning any events, but like I was still competing and going through the workouts. So I used to sprint a lot, and I used to really enjoy like being quick like that. And I was a long jumper, so doing those more explosive workouts, training for that was what I really enjoyed. So I don't have a reason to do that anymore. So playing hockey and doing stuff like you were talking about, like the Stu Smith workouts, where he's playing around with the different exercises to keep your body guessing. I think that's super important, man.
Yeah.
So people don't think about that. Like your body is really, really good at adapting. So
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you're just throwing one thing at it all the time, like. Yeah, probably get pretty good at it, and you probably plateau pretty hard too, and throw something different at your body to get over that plateau too.
Yeah, and you also have to find something you enjoy. Like if you don't want to work out, like if you don't want to lift weights, go with your friends and, go for a walk together.
Yeah, hiking,
throw weight on your back. It cuts, it's less impact on your body, but they say works more muscles than just walking like by yourself. Or
and like flat ground.
Or flat ground, and like, get people together who want to go for a bike ride or whatever. It's like talking to one of the guys this year, and he's like, he lived in this apartment complex, and everybody around him are like Pelotons.
Oh.
And they're like, so they all open their garages and look at each other and like, let's race on a Peloton. It's like, why don't you get a real bike and go outside and bicycle to go together?
Yeah.
It's like, doesn't make any sense. But
because they can make eye contact to each other. Yeah, it's definitely way better to be out in nature, and get the fresh air and the views. I mean, even here, like, I think it's Huberman talking about how important it is for your receptors in your eyes for getting that different light and then distance, right? Like, if you're staring at the wall or a screen when you're on the bike, just, like, you're not working those receptors and those muscles in your eyes, so, like, in your, ocular nerve, I guess, versus, like he said, it's really healthy to be, like, someone up front and then out at a distance, and especially if you're out for a run or bike ride, you're doing that all the time, like, looking for hazards around you, looking for stuff out in front, and then just looking at the scene around you. And then the group activity, like you said, is super important.
Yeah, because that's what part of, like, that's why people die, because they're, like, isolated, and then they get all depressed, they don't have friends, and it's like, go meet somebody, or, you just, like, ride your bike to coffee, and then talk to people who are at coffee. And,
groups are so important, man.
Oh, yeah.
Social. Yeah, because I noticed it with my grandma a little bit, too. She was... my grandpa had passed away years before, and then I'd only get to see her usually in the winter. Like in the summer, I want to see her at all, and she'd get a little more company. But in those dark days of the winter, she wouldn't get a whole lot of visitors. So whenever we'd show up, you could tell she was like she'd be repeating stories a lot, and like just not quite a little off,
Right. Yeah.
And she was aging. She's in her 80s, but all it took was like maybe 24 hours of us being there, and she's back to her normal self. So it's just like
social interaction does a lot. I mean, people are social animals. I mean, even if you're like an extreme introvert where you don't want to deal with people, you still have to deal. You're still going to deal with people, and just choose how much you want to deal with them. And if it's like once a month, you go have coffee or talk to them on the phone or whatever. But
because we're solo creatures. One, the human race probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah, right.
So, and like two, you wouldn't really get anything done. You couldn't procreate by yourself. So it's like we were tribal folks to survive, so we can count on
Right.
one another, you know, and so we're used to working in teams and being around each other. That's why it feels so good to be a part of a team and,
Yeah,
and to do something to
definitely.
work out together. Yeah, it's important. Like the Go Ruck, man. That's really important.
Yeah, and they have a subscription you can do every month. It's $25 a month. They have like call it workout at home. You just get your buddies together, and they use a lot of sandbag stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so you can go to their website and buy all their stuff. But and so part of it is like, you get together and you do like a quarter-mile ruck, and then you come back and do a bunch of push-ups, sit-ups.
Yeah.
And like Jocko's been big into burpees. He does.
He is.
When he does his travel, his gym is super nice when he's at home, but he does a lot of traveling for his job.
Yeah.
And he's a 4:30 in the morning guy. I don't have the discipline to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
That's a hard one.
But he's a less sleeper than most people need, but that's just the way his body is. But
I know. Yeah,
and he'll do 4:30 in the morning workouts, and he posts them every day on Instagram, and
yeah.
but he's like they call the muster, you pay to like learn from those guys, and every morning they're up there doing burpees out in the parking lot and push-ups, sit-ups. He's like, yeah, it takes like 45 minutes and get a good workout in.
Yeah, get a killer workout. Burpees,
Yeah.
burpees are great. It's full body. Only problem, burpees are a little hard on my shoulder because I don't do them right. It's me for sure because I
Right.
can kind of throw myself at the ground. So they doing like more of a squat to your hands,
Yeah.
And if I did them right, and they're better for you if you do them right too. But usually I'm trying to crank them out fast and
Yeah.
be a little more explosive, and then I hurt my shoulder.
Well, one thing you can do with burpees is you can like do what do they call it, the gentler burpee.
Oh.
So you basically squat down, and you, instead of like kicking your feet out, you like step them back,
Oh yeah.
and then you do your push-up, and then you step them back under your squat position, and you stand up, and instead of jumping up, you just go on your heels or your toes.
Oh.
So you like,
That's
so
what-
you're not
that's what-
jumping up, but you're still like doing explosive, but you're like just going up on your toes,
They're rocking forward and
rocking forward on your
yeah.
toes, and that's one. And then
That sounds pretty good, man.
so when you get tired of doing explosive burpees and you still want to do more burpees or whatever, you can do
or you get soft like me, and
or you get
yeah.
soft.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what it's called, but
Yeah.
the gentle burpee. That's what I.
We'll call it the gentle burpee.
Yeah, gentle burpee,
Yeah,
yeah.
I gotta try those more because
Yeah, 'cause you're just stepping out. Like I'll show you when we go outside how to do it. It's pretty easy, but
yeah.
you're like stepping out, and instead of like
Yep.
kicking your feet out, and you're still squatting down and still doing burpees, but you're just doing it smarter.
Yeah, definitely smarter and not harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we do those stations, where you run to a spot,
Mhm.
do air squats or burpees and run another spot and lunges and whatever, that each
Right,
spot
like,
had,
yeah, whatever
like big
circuit,
circuit. Yeah. And, it was like a race. So that's part of the reason why I got in really bad form with burpees because I'd be trying to crank through them and then sprint to the next station. And so I could, try to be.
Pays to be a winner.
Yeah, trying to be first and longer breaks. That was more it. I didn't really care about being first so much, but just get a longer break, if you're
Right.
first.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. I mean, being first is kind of more of a benefit,
Mhm.
or at least being in the first couple,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's super important, especially like I said when we age. So if with something like Go Ruck, they probably have an age limit on it, so you could probably do that
Mhm.
for a long time.
Yeah, I think for like the class, I think you have to be like 15 or 16 in order to like participate in one of their events. But you can, and they do have kids.
Oh.
It's called the tribe. It's called Tribes and Training. It's Tribes and Training, and they have a kids version of that too.
That sounds pretty good, especially the whole family involved in fitness.
Oh yeah, and you just do. They call it like garage workouts. So you just get your buddies and or your neighbors or whoever, and you just come together. And it's like usually like a half hour worth of working out, and
yeah, it's like a saying. I'm mess up. It was like a family that works out together, stays together, or something
yeah,
like
it's
that.
it's like a very social. They call it building your tribe, and you just get people together and like.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and having a healthier crew in general. Because like if you said, like natural disaster, and your whole family's
Right.
in great shape, you get the dogs and the cats and whoever out of the house,
Mhm.
and the hamster.
That's
No
right.
problem,
Yeah,
grab the goldfish and go.
that's right.
Have you ever done hot yoga or any like
I
yoga
have.
classes?
I have done yoga before.
But like the hot kind though.
I know
We're talking
people who love hot yoga, but
90 minutes of
yeah.
love.
I'm like a 5-minute yoga person.
Oh man, 5 minutes is better than no minutes. But
yes.
yeah, that 90-minute yoga, like man, I love it. If I'm trying to get my schedule all sorted out, but like my free time could be yoga, but right now it's hockey, and so I'm using that as my free time, like
Yeah.
and this, of course. So maybe like if this thing starts taking off and I can do this full time, then I'm definitely gonna get involved in like some early morning yoga. But the problem is too, there's not like, I think there's one place in town that has like hot yoga once or twice a week early mornings, and most of it's in the evenings, and it's either like just getting off work or during work. So it's hard to make that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So one of these days, I'll get in the hot yoga routine. But the benefits of hot yoga for me, because I'm just always super tight, and I'm really bad at making myself stretch. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, worth it. Have you ever done the hot yoga?
No.
Oh, right.
I've done yoga a couple times. Like I was working at the gym and I was done, and I was waiting for Liz to finish her class. And I went to a yoga class and.
Oh really?
Yeah, but I've been working. There's this program I found on YouTube. It's like Cassandra's 30-day yoga challenge or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I did yesterday and today.
Oh good.
I've restarted like 10 times already, but
yeah. Well,
that's so you do like.
At least you're not quitting.
That's right. You do like 10 minutes of yoga, and then she has like a challenge afterwards.
Yeah.
So like the first one was choose, so like a 1-word challenge. So you like choose, and then what does that mean to you? And and like I think today was like dream. What is your dream?
I think that's really good too, man. That's beneficial because like if someone's not like bringing it up, like and especially you're like a routine person who does like the same thing kind of day in day out, you might not be pausing and be like, yeah, what do I want to do with myself? What choices am I making?
Yeah.
Am I making good choices, or am I just going through the motions?
Right.
Come home, eat your chicken salad, and go to sleep, and have your bagel or whatever, and get in that routine, and it's easy to do because it's comfortable. So that's really important, and that's what I was doing during COVID, was getting a lot of YouTube yoga stuff going, and probably should just get back to that because I got the sauna at my house and stuff. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Do you sauna much?
No. Too hot.
Oh man.
Well, one of the guys I work out with in Ju Jitsu, he's trying to get stronger for Ju Jitsu, or I'm just trying to get stronger like in general.
Yeah.
And he goes to one of the gyms here, and he does the workouts in the morning. Then he does the sauna and the cold bath, I think, and does that like 2 or 3 times.
No, it's really good.
To me, I would just have a heart attack, I think.
Going
from super hot to super cold, I think that would probably
be the end of
send my system into shock. I would just be dead.
Be the end of Mike.
But
no, yeah,
he swears by. He really loves it. And I know a lot of Norwegian countries do the hot sauna and then jump in the cold ocean. But
yeah, my great grandpa's side, one of the first things he built, because he's Norwegian. He's from somewhere over there, I think. I think he's Norwegian as well. And I think he's like, his parents were off the boat, maybe. I'm not sure. He's pretty close because he could speak Norwegian. And one of the first things he built on his property was a sauna. It was right on the Missouri River, so you do the cold plunge in the Missouri and then come back in the sauna. And man, that Missouri, especially in the winter, it'd be cold. We'd be knocking ice off the edge to get in, and super cool. He loved it, man. He'd be laughing as we were going in when we were kids. But I think it's important. And when I'm older, like especially if I think about it, I make myself do it. A lot of times, like when I'm brain fogged up, I try to like work through it. But one of the best things I found is like cold plunge. I got a horse trough and got a bunch of these big, just like gallon jugs that I stick in the freezer and then throw them in the horse trough. And my well's pretty deep, so the water out of the well is pretty cold too. And I know like the health benefits. I think they're only like, mostly like Rogan and Huberman say that you only need like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But I usually go for like 15, and really really enjoy it. I like that longer cold plunge. I feel like I get a little more out of it.
Right.
Especially for my joints and stuff. So, like last winter, it'd be, anyone who's been following me for a while has probably seen some of my videos where I'll be in my trough and usually like cold out already. So like, so the trough is super cold and I put a bunch of salt in it. So like,
so it doesn't freeze.
So it doesn't freeze. Yeah. So, I was just kicking it, and I'll be very like dead calm out. No wind because it's cold, still night. I'll take a little video, and I'll show the ice kind of floating around by my feet. But it's peaceful to me, man. I mean, the first like 2 minutes is pretty rough, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and just like kind of fight through that and maybe distract myself sometimes, but then pretty good until like the last, few minutes. Sometimes even like at 15 minutes, I'll be all right. And if I go a little further, then I start getting irritable. It starts getting like really uncomfortable.
Right.
But, yeah, like right away though, it's not too. Or right away it's not bad, but then it's bad, but then like the majority of the time it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, some people do well. I mean, like you see all these people who are training for special forces or whatever, or just the new thing is a cold plunge. So everyone's like, those get like 55-gallon drums and fill it with ice and hop in there with their bikini on first thing in the morning. It's like, meh.
Yeah, I don't do the bikini, but
Yeah, well, I could see you in a bikini, but
yeah, I mean, if I had one, I guess I'd
Yeah.
try it. I probably wouldn't bother with the top, but
right, yeah.
yeah, just the bottoms.
But you see people climbing in the cold plunge, and they're selling them online now. You like
Yeah, like
you
these.
can plug them in, and they can go to like I don't know how cold they go, 50 some odd degrees or probably colder, but
Yeah, I'm trying to think. We have 40 degrees or something.
Yeah,
I think.
something.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and they got like it's like little mini pools.
yeah,
They-
mini pool, yeah.
Yeah, because they circulate the water, keeps it cold, and it's insulated, and then it has a filtration system like a pool,
Right, like
which
a pool,
is
yeah.
really nice. And yeah, I wonder. I mean, they're probably built so that they don't freeze up ever on you either. 'cause
Probably,
keep
yeah.
keep the water moving and stuff. Should be kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Live in Montana, we got more cold months than we do warm months.
Yeah, you
so-
don't need to worry about a insulated.
No. Yeah, except for it's it's real hot in the summer, but even though it was like kind of far and few in between,
Yeah.
the evenings get pretty cold out here, or cool down pretty good even in the heat of summer. So
Yeah, would we have a couple days like 100, like 105, I think, or 105, 102 for a couple days, and
yeah, and even then it still gets down to like 60 at night.
Yeah.
So pretty good drop in heat, which is super nice.
yeah,
Man. Yeah, that physical fitness, man, it's super important for mental health.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think that cold plunge really folds in that too. So maybe you got to get on board, my friend.
maybe I could try it sometime.
Yeah, you gonna maybe do it this winter?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because we were in where were we? We were in Minnesota, and we're in Duluth, or outside Duluth, and they
Yeah.
just the ice just finished melting off the lake that we were at. And our pilot there was two pilots up there, and they would do the cold plunge in the morning. And
Oh yeah.
I was only there for a couple days, and I had to go back, but I didn't do it. But
You didn't do it?
No.
Were they trying to talk you into it?
no, they just said we're going, and one of the guys that I work with, he loves the cold plunge too, and he would go run first PT and then go jump in the lake. And
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. I know, like
Yeah.
some of the call jumpers do the same thing. They go for a run and jump in the lake, do a few laps, and then run back to the jump base. and,
yeah,
like by the time you get to the jump base, you're pretty dry. I think,
Right.
And you take a shower anyways usually
Yeah.
after PT. So that was always super nice. So yeah, I really like that about the jump bases too. Is most of them have like showers and a
Mhm.
gym and stuff.
yeah,
You-
most of them are super nice.
Yeah, go and get a really good workout in and be able to shower off and wakes you up too, for the
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Go and check in on what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, checking out on me already?
No, it's run my eyeball.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's a little tough with the headphones and glasses. Can you see me if you don't have them on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gotcha. What do you use them for?
For reading and driving, and I have astigmatism. so
Oh, gotcha.
I turned 40, and now you have to wear them all the time.
Oh, really? Is that what I got to look forward to in a few years?
Mhm.
Oh, great. Just eyes start quitting on you, and the rest of your body starts wanting to quit on you.
Yeah,
That's why you got to
so
work
I
out.
gotta keep working out. You can't save your eyeballs, but you can save your body.
True. Carrots and fish oil.
Yeah,
Yeah. Help eggs.
eggs.
Yeah. You ever see that diet where the basis is eat foods that look, for whatever organ that looks like that organ. Like
Mm.
like example, like eggs kind of looks like an eyeball,
Mhm.
and then carrot, if you cut it, looks like an eyeball, and then lion's mane kind of looks like neuroreceptors or like a brain sometimes. Like when it grows.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you got like. I think you get two different kinds of lion mane. One's got like more of the tentacles that looks more like neurons,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one's more looks like a brain. That's what lion's mane is supposed to be healthy for your brain.
Interesting.
Yeah, so might be something to that.
Might be.
Yeah, it's like one of my early on nutrition things that kind of stuck with me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
One of my teachers, I think, was super into it. As a kid, you don't really care. You're just like, oh yeah, that's interesting.
Right.
But
Yeah.
for some reason, it stuck with me. I don't know why. But yeah, healthy eating. Do you eat healthy then?
Do I what?
Are you healthy? You got a pretty good diet?
I try and eat it pretty healthy, yeah.
Probably not so easy when you're here, but at home.
No, actually, Liz, my wife Liz, she's a freaking excellent cook. She doesn't like to. She hates cooking,
Oh, really?
but she does a really good job of putting things together.
Oh, I'm jealous. I like cooking, but I'm not a very good cook.
So I follow a lot of recipes, like verbatim.
Same.
And I made something. What did I make? Lemon chicken a couple days ago, and it just needed something.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure what it needed. Maybe more garlic. I'm not sure, but
That's my problem. I'll get something and I'll be like missing something and I
Right.
can't figure it out.
and Liz will look at it and she's like, "I'm gonna add this," and it'll be
Yeah.
up to the roof. And like,
Oh, my brother-in-law's amazing at that. He should have been a chef. I mean,
Yeah.
he could just smell something and be like, add a little bit of this. And like you said, same deal. It's like
right.
night and day from what my
Yeah.
bland cooking.
I've gotten better though. I mean,
Yeah, same. I got a few things to do and a few go-tos.
yeah.
But yeah, this Cowboy Kent Rollins. Cowboy Kent Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever watched him on YouTube?
Mm.
He's got a cookbook and stuff. I think he even has his own seasonings now. The guy's amazing. He had this awesome turkey recipe for
Mhm.
Thanksgiving, and you build the brine, you boil it, you have a bunch of like herbs and lemon
Mm-hmm.
and salt and pepper probably, and then you boil it all up, let it cool down to like room temperature below, and then you stick the bird in it. I think you brine the bird in it for like a day, like 24 hours, or
Mm.
maybe it's only like 10, maybe it's just overnight. I can't remember how long I did it, but then you smoke. Then I threw it in the smoker and whatever temperature you recommended, but it was like one of the best turkeys I ever had.
Mm.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm doing this again. He was
Yeah.
super cool because I took a picture of it, like the process, and
Mhm.
like posted and tagged him in it, and he wrote back, and him and his wife, I think, or his wife, and wrote back like, hey, it's awesome,
Nice.
Yeah, show the end results, and
Nice.
yeah, it turned out really good.
Yeah, I know Liz watches Steven Reichland. He's like the barbecue
Oh yeah.
god.
What is his smoke something?
Barbecue University and smoke something or other.
Yeah, 'cause he's got like on PBS.
Yeah,
Yeah, what is it? Man,
it's like barbecue U and
I'm trying to think of the smoke when I was watching his Project Smoke or something
Maybe
like that.
Project Smoke.
Yeah.
She learned a lot from him, and then a lot of YouTube channels and
Yeah, he's great. He's really knowledgeable.
oh yeah, super smart guy and
Yeah, and he's not just one dimensional. He doesn't have like one thing. He
Right.
uses so many different other grill type things
Yeah.
and smoker type things. Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I think that really helps too. If you can cook pretty good, like I can do a few things pretty good. So
Mhm.
like my standard for like going out to eat is higher now.
right.
Like I almost turn a little bit of a snob because like if I go to a restaurant and I can't get something that's better than I can cook, I don't really
Right.
want to go.
Yeah.
But which is also a good thing because then
Mhm.
you save a little money by cooking for yourself, and
Oh, yeah, for sure.
maybe even a little healthier too. Like I haven't eaten fast food in like 20 years, maybe.
Oh, nice.
Like, it's been a really long time. I mean, it started because of my Crohn's,
Mm-hmm.
and then like even when I was in remission for a while, like me and the wife were like in a pinch driving somewhere, and I think we got like Wendy's or something. It was just like tasted awful because I haven't
Right.
had it in so long.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this is terrible. I couldn't even finish it. Like, and I was starving.
Right.
But yeah, it's just like that. You start eating the real foods,
Mhm.
and it start to have more of that craving. Like training your palate, like
Oh yeah, right, for sure. Yeah.
Because I mean, all through high school, I worked at A&W. I ate a ton of A&W,
Mhm.
and so because I trained it that way, and then
Right.
after I couldn't eat that stuff anymore, then going back to it was like, oof, it tastes awful. I think that's a big part of like longevity too is eating healthy.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. And clarity, man. Like all this stuff, I think really leads to having just a better mindset, clearer brain, like clearer thoughts, and making decisions going forward for your life. I think are a lot
Yeah.
easier too, because you're just making better decisions all around, and it's kind of like you were talking about being contagious attitudes and all that, like lifestyle stuff's contagious too.
Yeah, they always say you don't want to feed a Ferrari, give it like crappy gas. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, I heard that a long time ago, and I remember
Yeah, I
thinking
think
about
that
that
was
too.
like the one statement most people made back in the day. It was like,
Yeah,
but,
like the late 90s.
yeah, late 90s
Yeah.
type stuff.
Because remember, it was like, 'cause that was around the time when everyone was like, my body's a temple.
Right, yeah.
Body's a temple, bro.
That was the thing. I don't want to feed my body.
Yeah, I'm putting garbage in my temple.
Right.
But it kind of resonated with me because especially I was like right around the time I was I was for sure an athlete, whether I was like in college yet or not. But like it's like it makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
and that helped me kind of get away from all the fast food,
Yeah.
kind of stuff that just weighs you down, like the. Cause I mean, it, like you put clean fuel in, like you're definitely getting better output.
Oh yeah. I mean, different when you're younger. You can eat whatever the heck you want and just, you know,
Yeah, one of my best friends.
outwork your diet. But nowadays, when you're older, you can't really outwork your diet as well. It's,
Dude.
eat healthier.
Me and my buddy talk about it all the time. We had in most sports you have like your different days. Like we had like a day that was more for like sprinting, and then we had like more of our like cardio type of day where like even though we're sprinters, we do a little more long distance or mid distance kind of training, so that you kind of so you're not gassing at the end of a 200-meter dash. You still got a lot in the tank to go, and like and all of us on the all the sprinters were backups for the relay, for the long relay. So like you had to train for the 400 whether you wanted to or not, and I was not a 400 guy. My gait is super short, so like I would just gas out so hard during the 400. But we had to train for it, and I remember we had one of those like grueling cardio practices, a lot of the mid distance, and like so. I mean, long distance is almost is easier for me because I can just kind of like lock it in gear and
get
go.
your pace and go right.
Yeah, but like that mid distance, it's it's still a sprint, but it's a long sprint, and we repeats. Like we're like 400 repeats and 300 repeats, and I think the shortest distance was a 200, and they were timed. We were trying to get them under a different time, and I remember like I was really hungry, but I was not going to eat, and one of my best friends, Deshaun, comes in with was hot and ready Little Caesars pizzas.
Right.
Eats the whole thing like right before we're about to roll out. Like everyone's already changed out, ready to go, and he's just sitting like in our little hallway outside of the coach's office, getting ready to go and warming up a little bit, and just chilling on the bench eating his pizza. And I'm like, that's coming back. and I think he's like, nope. Sure enough, man, like he kept it down and felt fine and killed it. He crushed that workout. I was like, dude, I wanted to puke for you. But like we were even joking around pretty recently about that. He's like, nah, yeah, that never would happen again now. Like you said, getting older, and like I think as a long distance runner, and my little brother talks about all the time, like when you're working out though, your body turns into like a furnace, especially as you're younger. Your body's growing all these things. So your digestion tract, like your gut, is like a furnace.
Right.
So just throw it in. And
I used to be when I was swimming. I used to be able to eat a lot, and even right before like swimming, and then like we'd play soccer. Like at halftime, I'd have a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Yeah.
To make it through the second half, and
same. Because like I could feel my blood sugar dipping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad deal. I was actually gonna talk to you about that with soccer, man. Like, getting kind of late here, so I don't want to keep you too much longer. But do you have stuff going on today? Am I keeping you from anything right now?
Ju Jitsu. But
what time is it?
It starts at 7. Not a big deal.
Oh shoot, man! I'll try to
plenty of time. It's a 5-minute drive.
It's 5-minute drive. Oh good. Shoot,
and they're usually not done until like 7:15 anyway. So
I don't want to keep you, man.
The kids.
Yeah, it's important to get Ju Jitsu in. But did you play soccer all through high school then?
I did.
Oh, so you're probably playing some pretty high-end soccer then. And it was in Cali, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was never a great soccer player. I never dedicated my life to being like one sport.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what you need if you want to be like really good at something.
Yeah.
You have to like dedicate your existence to that sport. Like I played, what do they call it? AYSO. So it's like, it's not club soccer. It's like anybody can join and play that soccer.
Yeah, But
like, say club soccer, which is like competitive. If you don't make the cut, you're done.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to. I was pretty good at soccer when I was growing up, but I didn't want to like risk it because in case you don't make it.
Then you're out.
You sit the summer out, and you're like, I'll just stay with AYSO.
I don't blame you, man. Yeah, because I played like clubs, like it was called travel, but I think it's like the same thing. Where you try out, and luckily there was in-house too, which is just like at that area, you know, in Lindenhurst, where you could play like Saturdays was the in-house league, and it was for like kids maybe weren't, like you said, taking it serious, or kids that just didn't quite have the skill level at that point in their age, because people mature at different ages too.
Right. Yeah.
I was the same way as you, man. Like I all through high school and stuff, like I couldn't commit to soccer, I couldn't commit to track, like I was flip-flopping, and when I got to college, I know folks who were like committed there.
Oh yeah, when I was in college, it was like you're doing this sport or nothing, or you're one sport you're really sticking to, and so I picked swimming. And
oh, nice. That's all. Yeah, I didn't know you swam in college. How'd that go?
It went pretty good. I was middle of the road. I only did two years of college, and then went out of the military. But I was not a very good student. I was doing other things, but it was weird when I got out of the Navy. I was pretty much a straight A student, and then I had a few bumps here and there on the road, but for the most part, I was like, for some reason, like just really clicked with me when I was older. And
Mine was after track. I started like getting pretty good grades and
Yeah.
made the dean's list, and then I went back to PT school and made the dean's list again. And like I said, I just knew the work that it would take for the harder classes instead of just being like put in the same amount of work for all the classes.
Right. Yeah.
Like I knew I'd like physics. I know I'm not very good at math, so I like had to hammer in. Listening to David Goggins talk actually really helped me because he was talking about in like Buds, I think he was talking about he couldn't really remember any of the scuba manual things, so he had to get a notebook and write every word down, like to get it locked in. And he was talking about he's like, well, I know that I am not a good student, so that's what I'm gonna hammer down on. I was like, yeah, that's smart, man. Like identifying your weaknesses and then going at them, and
for sure.
so I had to do the same thing, and that really helped when I went back to college because I got an A in human anatomy, which is like super hard to do. It's everyone knows like there's just so much information and retaining it. And the tests are not exactly set up to help you. Like one of those tests where it's like this answer is right, but this answer is more right.
Right. Yeah.
And
that's how EMT class is.
Yeah. I took EMT as well.
Craziness.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm gonna let you go, but man, we got some soccer talent around here. Maybe we have to get a little.
Yeah, for sure. I know they play ultimate frisbee on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
From like 6 to 7:30 or something. But
yeah, with Elijah and Doug.
Yeah.
Man, now I got you. I got to get Sheila and a few others. We'll have the whole ultimate frisbee team on this sucker.
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be great. Well, shoot, man, I really appreciate you being on the sucker. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah, and you go choke some folks out.
I'll try.
Strangle some folks. Yeah. That'll be good, man. Well, thanks anybody for tuning in. I appreciate the support, and everyone have a good evening.